My name is Gordon Burns, and I will be talking about 9/11, the tragedy that could have been avoided. In the investigation that followed and was played out over months and years, it became clear that 9/11 could have been prevented based on three reasons. Number one, if the US government had placed more emphasis on information gathering to prevent missed opportunities. Number two, if the US government connected the information it had. And number three, if the US government had paid attention to warning signs in 2001 and earlier. There were two surprising things that I learned about my topic. The first one was that in 1995, the Philippine authorities found out about a plot to slam a plane into the Pentagon, the CIA headquarters, and two other buildings. Unfortunately, the US government did not act on that intelligence. The other surprising thing that I learned was that after 9/11, cockpit doors were modified to withstand a grenade blast. Since 9/11, cockpit doors now have three modes. Only the pilots have access to change the modes. The flight attendants have a special code if they have a need for it. My thesis was 9/11 could have been prevented if the US government had placed more emphasis on information gathering, if the US government connected the information it had, and if the US government had paid attention to the warning signs in 2001 and earlier. I proved my thesis through my research of articles and databases. I also read and watched many interviews from the people who were in charge during 9/11. Some of the key information that proved my thesis was from the final 9/11 Commission report, quote, while the National Security Agency had the technical capability to report on communications with suspected terrorist facilities in the Middle East, the NSA did not take FISA or Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act code words to connect communications between individuals in the US and foreign countries because it believed this was a war for the FBI, end quote. In 1995, European experts informed the FBI about a plot to hijack commercial planes and crash them into the Pentagon. On September 10, 2001, the National Security Agency intercepted two messages from Afghanistan to Saudi Arabia. The first said, quote, tomorrow at 0 hour, end quote, and the second said, quote, the match begins tomorrow, end quote. The messages were not translated until September 12th. One of the effects that we see as a result of my topic is that security at airports has increased substantially. Airports used to be like bus stations. Now there are security checkpoints which x-ray passengers and carry-on luggage, as well as restrictions on what can be carried on board. Further, the FAA transferred all passenger screening duties to the TSA after 9/11. We also went from only having 33 air marshals to over 600 in the following month, and thousands after that. As George W. Bush said, one of the worst days in America's history saw some of the bravest acts in America's history. We always honor the heroes of 9/11, and here at this hallowed place, we pledge that we will never forget their sacrifice.